Finding yourself bored and numb? Well, no worries, cause now you can get the all-new Ink Pods!
Hey guys, this is 11.5. This is Savannah's Integrated Math 3 module. 1A test version C, 1114, October 14, 2025. In our Ken, you gotta have the numbers 1, 2, 3, and they should be all positive. The freebies, free, are the ones with no math operations. So I already have 1 and 1. Okay, for a +8 in this cage, I can repeat numbers, but not in a row or column. I'm guessing 3, 3, 2. So oftentimes with these corner ones, you have repeating numbers, and that matches. Okay, so I need about a 2 and a 3 here. That subtracts to be 1. This is missing a 2, this one's missing 1, those subtract to be 1. So I think that is our answer. Number 2, you have x squared plus 2x minus 15. I saw some students do this, which is fine. If you just factored it. And then you realize that if you solve it, you have -5 and 3. These are whole numbers, so your answer is actually R. Now, if you don't see that, you can just go back to your A, B's, and C's. And then, if you just wrote down this, that gave you 1 point. You get everything else wrong. B is 2. 2 times your A value is 1, so this will equal -1. So then our table of values would be -1. So if you got that, you might have to expand yours. 4, 9, 3, 0, 2, -7, 1, -12, 0, -15, -16, -15, -3 is -12, -4, -7, -5, 0. Okay, so let's pretend you just have the whole table, just I have it here, all the table correct. And then you got, make sure you have to have the number 0. If you forgot and you didn't mark R, then I give you 1.5. You got 1 point if the table was partially correct. And what that meant is a lot of students, if it was -1, you probably went only up to 5. Remember we talked about expanding it, and you're looking for the magical number 0. Okay. Number 3, what is the simplified value of -3i to the 3rd power? So -3, I'm going to break that down to I squared times I, because I squared is equal to -1. So if I multiply those, I get +3i, and that would be choice C. Okay, let's go down now to question number 4A. Okay, my A value is, A is -1, so I know that means it's down. So that would be answer for 4A's E. Okay, your B value is 4 and your C value is -4. So the axis is symmetry. 1 point for just writing down the formula. Your B value is 4. Your A value is -1. -2, so you moved on X equals 2. So your answer is 2 for full credit with the work there. Okay, so if I know it's 2, let's double check. So if you put that 2 in the middle, 3, 4, 1, 0. 2, we would have gotten 0. -1. -1, -4, -1, -4. And you will see that that is my vertex, which would be choice B. Okay, so if you graphed it, 4, -4, 0, -4, 3, -1, 2, 0. Graph would look something like this. Now here, if your table was correct, or the graph was correct, like you only got one or the other, that would give you 1 point. Okay. The range refers to the y values, so negative numbers to positive numbers, and we're going to go bottom to top. Okay, so the first thing you touch on this graph is these arrows, and that's referring to all the negative numbers. Okay, always with positive, negative, infinity, you have a parentheses. And then the last thing you touch is right here. And on the x-axis, that is 0. So that is your answer. I gave you 1.5 points, partial credit, if you were super close. That just means like maybe you have a bracket right here, or you have a parentheses or something like that. 1 point if the whole side, one side was correct. Meaning you got parentheses and negative infinity on the left side, or 0 bracket on the right side. And then 0.5, maybe on the left side, you just have like negative infinity, or 0 on the right side. Okay? Okay, let's show this one here. This one tells you to multiply. How do you know that? There's no plus or minus. So we're going to multiply first. So I have 5 plus 3i, 2 minus 4i. This math skill we learned back in, there's a day I was absent and required you to do this in your 1.3 packet. So this is where the lesson came from. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times -4 is negative 20i. Just pretend the I is like an X. 3 times 2 is 6i. And 3i times -4i is negative 12i squared. Next, we're going to add. So let's take them all out. Okay, so we have like terms here. So you just look at the numbers in front, like negative 20x plus 6x. Those will become negative 14x or negative 14i. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky because remember, I squared equals -1. So I have negative 12 times -1, which would give me, whoops, that was up, let's be an I, positive 12. And then you add these two, you'll get 22 minus 14i. Some partial credit. 3.5 points if you got negative 12i squared. And that means you didn't understand what I squared was equal to. Okay, number 6. In the practice test, there were 2 negatives, but this one I took out the negative. So let's see if you were paying attention. This one is -1 times 7 times 7. And this one is just 2 times 2. So this becomes I on the outside. This becomes 7 on the outside. It's a pair. They can come out. When you see it from afar, you only see 1, and then you have a 2 here, all by multiplication. So then you just multiply, and you get 14i as your answer. Okay, some partial credit, 2 points. If the inside factors, some of them were correct. Like, you broke down 49 to be 7 and 7. 3 points if some of the outside factors were correct. I'm going to write some, because, maybe, of course, more points if you got closer. Number 7, here's the trick to factoring in 1.4. If your a value is 1, then you're just going to use the x. If your a is bigger than 1, then you have to use the x in the box. So in this problem, a is 4, b is -4, and c is -3. So a is bigger than 1, so I have to use this. A times c, and you have your b value. So a times c is 4 times -3 is -12. B value is -4. You can list out all your factoring pairs and do only positives, smaller number on the right, bigger number on the left. So if I subtract them, I can see that I want them to be 4. Well, if I want them to multiply, it'd be negative. So one of them has to be negative, but when I add them together, the bigger number must be negative. So remember, -4x is split between these, which means I'm going to add an x there. Okay, here's a common mistake for students filling out the box. The top left is the whole 8. So in this case, that is 4x squared. And the c value is in the bottom right. Okay, so 2x times 2x equals 4x squared. 2x times 1. 2x. And this has to be a -3. 2x minus 3, 2x plus 1. Order doesn't matter. Okay, if you just got the x correct, then I gave you 2 points. Another common mistake was solving. So you got x equals 3/2 and x equals -1/2. When this is, I underlined it, you're simply just factoring. Okay, number 8. There's only one way to solve this one. Well, I'll list out 2. The square root method. Now, although you're learning that currently in 1.5, we actually learned it back in like 1.3, I'm guessing like 7. It's like the last lesson. Now, there is another method you could try, is factoring. And this would have been in the 1.4, so that's like Xbox. Okay, so this one's pretty easy to show. This one does not work. If you add 4 to both sides, x squared plus 124 equals 0. And then you'll realize really quickly, a times c is 124, b value is 0. Well, there are no two numbers that will add to be 0. because one of them has to be positive, one has to be negative, which means the yellow blanks have to be the same number, and 124 is not a perfect perfect square. So basically, you cannot do it by factoring. Okay, in the square root method, basically this works when you have an A and C value, which we currently have. So subtract 120, x squared equals negative 124. X squared is isolated, so now I can take the square root. You have the plus or minus. Cancels. X equals, okay, this one's going to be negative 1. And then factors of 124. Okay, so let's do 31 and the square root of 4. So this will become I. This will become square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 31. So this would be your answer. Now I gave you partial credit for just either subtracting 120 from both sides or adding 4 to both sides. Now some students were able to come up with the answers for this one using factoring. And the number, if you came up with it, I gave you 3.75 was pretty close, but it was not exact. 11.14i and negative 11.14i. So if you got that, the decimals, then I give you 3.75. It's not exact, that's why I'm not giving you full credit. Okay, 2 points if your x was correct. And you realize you have to abandon it. So you can't say you can't solve it by factoring. There's other methods. Okay, so 3.5. Sorry, that one actually goes down here. Okay, 3.5 points factored, but not solved. So you had like something like x minus 11.14i. And then 3.75, you forgot the plus or minus. Okay, hope that was helpful for you guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Math is the best. Math is the best. Math is life. Mr. Ang, the best teacher in the West. We're so blessed to have Mr. Ang. Praise Jesus.